of chat number 254. And we are going to be talking about a 3-day holiday detox. Okay, the first week of 2021, I went back and looked at it. And the first week of 2021, we chatted about how angry I was about 2020, that 2020 had taken away so much from our family. And apparently I was really angry about it. But like many of you, I dusted off, I picked myself up, and I carried on. And because of that, I am two healthy grandchildren and 13 pounds lighter for it. So instead of just letting 2020 crush and cripple me, you know, we got 2 healthy grandchildren. One of them will be 4 at the end of the week. Alyssa will be 4 on Friday, and Casey will be 28 on Friday. So 2 healthy grandchildren, and I'm 13 pounds down. So that's the good news. We started last year off with detox ideas. And these detox ideas were not only to cleanse our bodies, they were to clear our minds. And we got a lot of great ideas from you all. I know, Debbie says, I am here and you are not. I know, don't rub it in. Do not rub it in, Debbie. But a couple of you all last year in chat number 207. So that's crazy to think that it was chat number 207 last year when we did this detox. Here were a couple of your suggestions. So Mindy enjoys the WW Garden Veggie Soup, the cabbage soup, as well as other high fiber, high water content foods and probiotics. And she suggests starting your day with warm lemon water before your breakfast in the mornings. Loretta said that she likes to make a big jug of green tea and enjoys it with a squirt of lemon. So I'm starting to feel a theme going on here. Lanny loves lemon in her water and heats it up every morning to start her day. Then Kathy was working on cutting out processed foods and starting her days with meditation to detox her brain before the day even started. And then Karen was exploring the positive results of a daily dose of kefir. Okay, so that was last year. So this year I decided not to wait until after the holidays. So chat number 207 was after the holidays. This year I decided not to wait until after the holidays. I'm taking my dignity back this week, this holiday week. We just finished Christmas and still have 2 birthdays, an anniversary, and New Year's week. Okay, so I'm taking it back this week, and I'm using every bit of my knowledge that I gained from my mom, from Nana, my amazing support group, which is you all, from WW, and honestly from the internet. Okay, so I'm using every bit of knowledge that I've gained from all of that, and I hope that you will join me for a 72-hour hardest but most rewarding detox before the new year. So I will be doing my detox Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. Friday is Alyssa's birthday, and it is also New Year's Eve. Thursday is Casey's birthday. Friday is Alyssa's birthday. Friday is New Year's Eve. Saturday is New Year's Day. So I have planned my 3-day detox for Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday so that I can get it in those 3 days before the other parties start. Okay, so this 3-day holiday detox, I'm going to tell you all how to do this. I'm going to give you some pro tips, and then I'm going to tell you what to eat. So do not bail out on me, okay? Because at the very end, I'm going to tell you what to eat. So I'll talk about the pro tips quickly because you all will have questions about the what to eat. Okay, 3-day detox pro tip number 1. First of all, it's 3 days, okay? It's just for 3 days. It's for 72 hours. So tip number 1, follow each of these 3 steps every day. And then comment below if you're watching this on YouTube, if you are reading this later on IfYouHaveAnEgg.com, or at the end of this chat, if you want to go ahead and comment on it, I want you to comment with how you did. So the first thing is 3-day detox. Tip number 1. So 3-day holiday detox. Pro tip number 1. Avoid the following things for that 72 hours. So whatever that 72 hours is that you've set aside for this, avoid the following. Avoid added salt or sodium. So please try not to add it to anything. Avoid processed sugar. Some of you are going to pass out. Avoid diet drinks if you can. Diet drinks, they have some chemicals in them that if you're going to detox, you need to get them out of your system. And also they tend to make some people kind of binge eat. And since we're going to be getting rid of processed sugars and added sugars, I'm serious, the diet drinks sometimes kind of make you crave those. So get rid of those just for 72 hours. Anything out of a box, a can, or a drive-through, okay? I'm getting ready to show you something out of a can, but I'll explain why here in just a second. It's not processed. So anything that's processed that comes in a box, anything processed in a can, or anything from a drive-through, do not touch those for just that 72 hours, whatever that 3-day window is. Alcohol, sorry, those of you who are celebrating greatly this week, but try to get the alcohol out of your system. We're going to try and get this out of your system for 3 days before New Year's, okay? So we're going to try and get this detox in before the ball drops so that you can have alcohol again on Saturday. And try to avoid the family member or friend who will question what you're doing. So you just need to get rid of that person, okay? Also, I did want to point out, that you need to get rid of those things, okay? Including the friend or family member who's going to scoff. Just don't tell them. Just don't tell them that you're doing this. Just avoid them for 3 days, okay? So 3-day detox pro tip number 2, start each day with warm lemon water. You heard, or how many people, 3 people, I think, in the last, or when I mentioned last year when we were talking about detoxes, mentioned warm lemon water. And I know all of my dental hygienist friends just gasped. They all went, oh, Kelly, you can't tell people to drink warm lemon water every day. They will ruin their teeth, okay? So then use a straw. So use a straw and start each day with warm lemon water. Is that better? Does that make y'all happy now? Does that make y'all feel better? I can't explain why it works, but it does. And according to veryhealthylife.com, there are 30 reasons to add this warm drink to your daily routine. Like a couple of them were aiding in digestion, combating constipation. When I've done this in the past, I found it very filling. It was weird. Like wasn't filling like I felt full, but it was, I don't know, it just was filling. I don't know how else to describe it. And when I do this, we're going to talk about how much here in a few minutes, Carol Lou. But I don't know why, but after I do it for a few days, my skin always looks fantastically better. Okay. But my dental hygienist friends, if it's going to freak you out for me to say that, then I will say drink warm lemon water through a straw every day for that 3 days. Okay. And Melissa, I have no idea about limes. Don't know. I've only heard of this with lemons. So if anybody knows if limes are the same, I've only heard of people doing this with lemons. So sorry. Okay. 3-day detox pro tip number 3. Vicky, soothing. That's it. That also include some form of relaxation for 10 minutes every day. Okay. So it's just for 3 days. You can do this. So, and by relaxation, I don't mean hide in the bathroom from your coworkers and check Facebook for the cutest cat videos. Okay. For the latest cute cat videos. That's not what I mean by relaxation. You still might want to do that too, but that's not what I mean by relaxation. Okay. I mean, real relaxation. I mean, for 10 minutes. Okay. It's 10 minutes, 3 days in a row. So it's just for 3 days, and you never know, you might like it and you might start wanting to do it every day. So you can either go to your Weight Watchers app and you can find a new 5-minute breathe. So I don't know if you've seen those or not, but it's, we were doing Mindspace, and now on that WW app, it's breathe, BREETHE, and it's all in capital letters. I'd love to know what that's about. So if somebody knows, let me know. But it's breathe coaching. So you can check out one of those, or you can go check out an article. I've seen so many articles about EFT tapping, and it's EFT tapping is it's an emotional freedom technique, EFT tapping, and it's thought to be an alternative for physical pain and emotional distress. We're going to stop for a second, and I'm going to show you what I mean. So you can find all kinds of articles on EFT tapping, and there is an app that you can download, and there are lots of things that you can do, but it's tapping in certain places. And I got to tell you, I don't even know if I'm doing it right or not, but I have to tell you, tapping in certain places, it's very relaxing. So you could do that for 10 minutes. So maybe find that online and find a way to do that. So that's called EFT tapping. It's emotional freedom technique. And apparently it works. And I'm getting served ads for that all the time. So I'm going to be checking that one out. So that's some form of relaxation for 10 minutes every day. You can do some meditation. You can do something like that. But again, it is not checking cute cat videos on Facebook. Okay. That's not relaxation. That's not what this is about. Okay. 3-day detox pro tip number 4. Some of you are going to go, I can't do that. It never works, blah, blah, blah. Well, if you go into this thinking that it's not going to work, then it's probably not going to work. Okay. Try your hardest, whatever you have to do. If you have to kick your spouse out of the room, if you've got to go stay in a hotel, whatever you have to do, for 3 days, try to get 6 to 8 hours of sleep, okay? for 3 days. If you've got to shut everybody off, if you've got to turn your phone off, if you've got to put your phone in sleep mode, I don't know what you got to do. We have so many chats about sleep and about rest and the effect of both of those on us and on our weight loss, journey. It only makes sense that in this 3 days of detoxing that we try to add some sleep, 6 to 8 hours for 3 days. That's all I'm asking you to do. So again, if you got to go to a hotel, got to kick your spouse out, whatever, quieten the kids down, give the kids some NyQuil. I'm kidding. Do not give your children NyQuil. Okay. Don't do it. But I found 6 different chats without even trying real hard. I found 6 different chats where we talk about sleep without even trying hard. So it must be important. So go back and watch one or more for the details on sleep. But for these 3 days, try to get 6 to 8 hours of sleep all 3 of those nights. Okay. 3-day detox pro tip number 5, eat a superfood or herbs at each meal. So we've talked about this. We haven't talked about this specifically as a detox plan, I don't think, but we've talked, in other chats about superfoods. We've talked about, herbs and things like that. We've talked about eating, whole foods, and I don't know. I hate to call them whole foods. They are whole foods, but we're not doing Whole30. We're not doing, some other whatever. We're just talking about eating some actual good for you food. So pro tip number 5 is to eat a superfood or some form of herbs at each meal. Okay. So superfoods and herbs are the best way to detox your body from the inside out. I mean, literally the best way. Superfoods include berries, any kind of berries, blueberries especially, but berries, kale. Oh, hold on a second. Carol Lou said, these will work with my New Year's resolution of you do you in 22. Carol, we need to do that. You should totally Carol, you should post that in the If You Have an Egg closed group. And if y'all want to join the If You Have an Egg closed group, somebody, probably Carol Lou, will post the link to that. And you do have to answer the 3 questions or I can't let you in. I have gotten really good at deleting requests if you don't answer the questions. Or if you answer them, yes, 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 no, 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 yes, yes, no, whatever, because that doesn't tell me that you're a human. Okay. But anyway, Carol, I think you should do that as a challenge for the group because I think everybody would love that. But again, superfoods include things like berries, kale, turmeric, spinach, grapefruit, asparagus, and apples. There's a long list of superfoods, but those are some of my favorites. And I mean, they're just amazing for you. They're just awesome for you. Great herbs include, thank you, Carol Lou. I knew you would post that. Great herbs include basil, parsley, cilantro, my personal favorite. And we have a friend now that is doing growing microgreens, and he does microgreen cilantro. If you're here in Knoxville or in Seymour, trust me, you need some cilantro microgreens in your life. If you are not in Knoxville and don't have access to those, you need to figure out how to get some, okay? But anyway, so basil, parsley, cilantro, garlic, ginger, and turmeric. Did you notice that turmeric made the list twice? So it's a superfood and it's a great herb. So I think that might, tell you something. Okay, so try to eat a superfood or an herb at each of your meals. And then 3-day detox pro tip number 6, get plenty of fiber and drink lots of water. Okay, so we're going to quickly chat about something. And Debbie says that berries are also great anti-inflammatory food. That's awesome. And turmeric is too. Okay, so tip number 6, get plenty of fiber and drink lots of water. And Vicki, yes, ginger. So ginger, I don't buy ginger root and try to grate it. I'm not good at that. So I cheat and I get ginger that is already crushed or whatever from Spice World, and I use it like that. Okay, but tip number 6. This is an unpopular topic most of the time, but you're going to need to poop, okay? So that's everybody who knows me knows that that's my first question. So if your tummy doesn't feel good, I ask when the last time is that you pooped. If you are feeling under the weather, when's the last time you pooped? If something hurts, when's the last time you pooped? I mean, that's like the first thing that I always ask everybody, other than, do you have a rice bag? So do you have a rice bag is usually question number 2, but when was the last time you pooped was question number 1. So I know some of you don't like talking about it, but these holiday toxins have to go somewhere, okay? So they've got to go somewhere because what we're going to be doing is shaking basically everything off of your insides. So it's going to be like, it's not really scraping, but what we're going to be doing is like scraping, cleaning, whatever you want to call it, your insides to get rid of these toxins. You know, because y'all have all eaten sugar. I know you have. I know you've eaten sugar this week. I know that y'all have eaten things that you don't normally eat this week. And it's clinging to your insides. And that's as graphic as I'm going to get. Oh my gosh, okay, hold on a second. So Vicky asked what a rice bag is. So obviously Casey is not here. I think they were driving home from Christmas number like 5 tonight. We have a friend who made us all rice bags, literally probably 25 years ago. And it's just it was like a dish towel, and she folded it over, filled it with rice, sewed it up, and you heat it in the microwave. You cannot wash it. You can't get it wet. Mine is almost 25 years old. It's at least 20 years old anyway. I've successfully never gotten it wet, which means it's also never been washed. But if you have any ache or pain, anything going on, if you heat that rice bag in the microwave for 2 minutes and put it wherever, oh, it has amazing healing properties. Amazing. Okay, so that's a rice bag. But you know what poop is, right? You already know what poop is. Okay, so anyway, we're going to be, during this detox, we're going to be trying to get everything that you don't normally eat, or maybe you do normally eat it, but we're going to try and get rid of it, you know, out of your system. So you're going to have to kind of shake it off of your insides. So getting lots of fiber is one thing. So we're going to be talking about getting lots of fiber here in just a second, but you have got to drink lots of water with this too, okay? If you consume more fiber than you are used to, yep, Sylvia, just white rice. That's the only time it's okay to eat white or have white rice. I'm just kidding. If you consume as much fiber as I'm getting ready to suggest that you consume, and you don't follow it up with lots of water, it's just going to, it's going to expand and bulk up and just sit there, okay? So trust me on this one. You want to add all this fiber, but you want to follow it up with lots of water, okay? Okay, so those are the pro tips. Now I'm going to talk about a 3-day detox meal plan. So we already talked about sleeping more. We already talked about meditating or some form of relaxation that does not involve Facebook videos. We already talked about, yes, Vicky, it will be a bad brick in your stomach if you don't follow it up with the water. Exactly. We already talked about lemon water. We talked about, some of these things. So now we're going to talk about the 3-day detox meal plan. There's no actual science behind any of this. What I'm getting ready to tell you, I want to know how this works for you. It works great for me, but I want to know how this works for you. So seriously, before you scoff at this, before you go, oh, I've done all that. That doesn't work, or you can't sustain that, or whatever. Okay, you all have all done some form of this in the past, but you usually try to do it for a longer period of time. I mean, even John and one of his friends at work have tried to do some form of this. But you've either tried to do it for a longer period of time, you've had lackluster results, or there was some other reason that you did this. But you can do this for 3 days. I promise. You can do anything for 3 days. Anything. You'll be good to go. Okay. So I can take a lot of things for 3 days, even if I couldn't take them, for longer periods of time. So this is what we're going to do. First, we're not going to cough through the rest of the chat. Okay, so this is your 3-day detox meal plan. Excuse me while I lick the cough drop off my fingers. Good. You're going to do this every day for 3 days. So if you do this with me, you'll be doing it on Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday of this week. If you wait until after January the 1st, if you're watching this in 2027 and you want to try it then, do it. Go ahead and do it. So here's what you're going to do. Okay, start your day. You're going to start your day with warm lemon water. You're going to drink it through a straw. If you need to prevent sensitive teeth, or if you have a dental hygienist in your life, or if you want to keep me out of trouble. So the first thing you're going to do is you're going to start your day every day with warm lemon water. Me personally, I would do about and I did not bring one out here, but I would do about an 8 to 10 ounce mug of warm water and put a couple of slices of fresh lemon in there. Lemon juice is okay. I find it works better if you use a real, like an actual still a lemon, and just slice it. Of course, wash it first. Please, 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 pretty please. And yes, Deanne, this will be written somewhere, so this will get posted in writing, and you do not need to take notes. So that's a great question, actually. And it was Deanna that asked. So that's a great question. You do not need to take any notes. This will be printed tomorrow. So Jessica will post this on IfYouHaveAnEgg.com. It says here, If You Have an Egg. She will print that tomorrow, or she'll post that tomorrow, and then y'all can print it out. And I'll ask her to post that in such a way that you can just print out the meal plan on one page. So Jessica, if you're listening, please do that. Jessica, you're probably not listening because I know you're also having Christmas, so I will remind you to do that. Anyway, oh, I gotta hurry because we have 7 minutes. Okay, so start every day with warm lemon water. Wash the lemon first. Okay, meal number 1 is gonna be a half of a grapefruit, which is a superfood. Use some kind of non-artificial sweetener, okay? So please do not use, don't use anything funky, okay? Because we're trying to detox. And I understand that everybody's going, oh my gosh, my points are getting ready to go out the window. This is for 3 days, okay? This is not for the rest of your life. So use some kind of non-funky sweetener, like monk fruit would be great. So a grapefruit is a superfood. Use cut it in half and eat half of a grapefruit with some kind of non-funky sweetener, plus a half of a cup of prepared oats. Again, try not to use instant oatmeal that comes in a bag. You can make, look, there's directions on the back. You can make oats. You could make overnight oats. You could do something, but a half a cup of oats, because there's your fiber, and put berries on top of it. I'm going to highly recommend that you put berries on top of your oatmeal, whether you eat it cold or if you do it warm. And then drink 10 ounces of plain water. And if you can't have grapefruit, so Roberta says she can't have grapefruit, so I'm assuming that's some medication that you take that you can't have grapefruit. Skip the grapefruit then. If you can do the lemons, that'd be great. If you can have oranges, go ahead and do an orange instead of the grapefruit, and then drink 10 ounces of plain water, okay? So just plain water. Then an hour later, so an hour after this, drink another 10 ounces of plain water. So when I say plain, I don't mean more lemons. The lemons are just for the first one, okay? So meal 1 was a half of a grapefruit, half a cup of some kind of prepared oats, and Carol Lou, for 3 days, you can eat oatmeal for 3, you can eat some kind of oats for 3 days, okay? You can do it. You can do it for 3 days. And I'll highly recommend putting berries on top because that is another superfood. And this is going to give you your fiber, okay? Then an hour later, drink 10 ounces. So you're going to have 10 ounces of plain water with that. Then an hour later, drink 10 more ounces of plain water. Then meal 2, oh man, we got to talk fast. Meal 2 is this cabbage soup recipe that Mindy was talking about, last year. So I'm going to show you quickly. And tomorrow, I will actually show you how to make this tomorrow. So the easiest way to make this is just to get a, well, Debbie, you can have coffee. Just try not to do creamer or funky sweeteners. It's for 3 days. It's only for 3 days. Okay, so for this soup, I'm going to do 2 bags of shredded cabbage. So this is a 10-ounce bag and a 9-ounce bag. You can shred your own cabbage. You don't have to buy them already prepackaged, but you're going to put these, I'm going to put this in a slow cooker, and again, tomorrow I'm going to show you how to do that. Alyssa and I may make that together to show you all how. You need, for this recipe, you need some diced celery, and again, you don't have to be taking notes because this is going to be posted tomorrow. Celery, onions, and carrots that are already chopped. Obviously, I went to Trader Joe's today so that I could get some cheater things and have them already chopped. You're going to use low sodium vegetable broth. If you can find low sodium, that would be fantastic. And I'm using vegetable broth instead of chicken broth or something like that because, again, we're trying to get these superfoods in and trying not to get some funky things in. This was the only thing I said that was okay to come out of a can. For that soup, I'm also going to put in, now this is 1 pound and 12 ounces because I want more tomatoes because tomatoes are fantastic for you. Into that soup, I'm going to put that in there. And then I am also chopping up some mushrooms, some baby bell mushrooms, putting them in there with that soup. I'm going to add a little bit of turmeric to that soup because that's a superfood. And I'll be using a non-salt, I don't know why I feel the need to shake it. I'll be using a salt-free spice. So I'm going to use the Dax Italian Blast, because it's salt-free. Use whatever your favorite salt-free blend is. And again, tomorrow I'm going to show you how to make that soup. And then I'm going to eat that for 3 days. So that is going to be meal number 3. That's meal number 2 is 2 cups of the cabbage soup recipe that is coming tomorrow. It's full of superfoods. Plus, drink 10 ounces of plain water. Then, an hour after that, drink 10 more ounces of plain water. Then, meal number 3, and I promise I'm hurrying. Meal number 3 is going to be roasted veggies. And if you feel like you have to have, some extra kind of protein, even though I did not say that you can't have meat, I'm going to encourage you for those 3 days not to add meat unless you just have to. So anyway, try not to eat any meat. If you have to have some extra protein, go ahead and get some tofu. And again, I'll show you tomorrow how to do this. But this is going to be meal number 3. It's going to be a cup of roasted veggies, and I'll show you how to make those tomorrow. So the roasted veggies I'm going to use are Brussels sprouts, asparagus, asparagus was on that superfood list, more mushrooms, some tomatoes, and then you're going to eat that. You're going to eat those roasted veggies, and I'll show you tomorrow how to make those with a half of a cup of either lentils or quinoa. And we'll talk about that more tomorrow. So that's more fiber. You want that in there to kind of bulk it up a little bit and for some more fiber. And another 10 ounces of plain water. Then an hour after that, you're going to drink another 10 ounces of plain water. So meal 1 is the grapefruit, oatmeal, thing going on. Then an hour later, water. Then meal 2 is the cabbage soup recipe that's coming tomorrow. Then an hour later, drink 10 more ounces of water. And again, this is all going to be typed out tomorrow for you. Meal 3 is 1 cup of the roasted veggies and a half a cup of the lentils or quinoa. Then an hour later, 10 more ounces of plain water. And at the end of that, for each of those 3 days, you're going to check off your 60 ounces of water in your app and add back 1 point. You're going to check off 2 cups of non-starchy vegetables in your app and add back 2 points. By the end of the 3 days, you should be pooped out. Literally should be pooped out, okay? You should have added back a total of 9 points to your daily. So that's 3 points per day, and they do not roll over. But if you don't use all of your points, then those will roll over. Just saying. So you should have 9 points added back by the end of the 3 days, and you should feel great, okay? Seriously, you should feel great. And I do want you to comment with how this worked for you. I want you to comment, how it went. Even comment on your poop. I'm happy to hear about your poop. So Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday is when I'll be doing this. I'll be showing you how to make the soup and the roasted veggies tomorrow so that I have those prepared for Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. If you've got any questions after I get this typed, just let me know. Whew. And I am just about talked out, and I know you all are probably listened out. So you all have a great rest of your week. Let me know how it's going. If you were watching this on YouTube, please go ahead and let that next video roll over. And we'll talk about, so the one that's going to show next is from our holiday eating plan last week. Go ahead and let that roll over. And please go ahead and subscribe. We're going to be talking Fast and Furious all year long, all of 2022. So go ahead and subscribe and check that little bell so that you will be notified when the next video comes up. But thank you all again for another great week. I hope you had a great holiday. And I seriously, seriously hope that a bunch of you all join me on this 3-day detox. For me, it's going to be Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday of this week. Y'all let me know how it goes. And I'll talk to you next time. Let's see. Oh, and Nancy wants to know if someone can please post the link again to the group. So Nancy, if you don't see it here in the chat, after this is ended, all of this is going to be posted here on Facebook. So you will be able to go back and find that link. And remember to answer the 3 questions. So you all have a great evening and a great week. And I'll see you tomorrow at some point. And I'll let you know how the detox is going for me. And I hope some of you will join me. Good night. Have a great week. See you next time.